Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So, I'm going to talk about this because it needs to be talked about. This is a PSA, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to get too much trouble here as I'm going to get for TikTok, providing that TikTok let the video play. So, I have some issues, family issues, and I normally try to keep that shit close to my chest, and I don't let too many people know when Echo Fan Grey Wolf, aka James Williams Jr., has a problem, alright? Or at least a problem that I can't legally solve, or that I can illegally solve. It's just that I like my freedom, and I would like not to go to jail for breaking somebody's face, elbows, and kneecaps. So I like to say this thing, and I send warnings, not invitations. And this is specifically to family and friends, alright? I want you to take this, and you can take it any way you want, because I'm going to give you the whole 1,000, and I don't give a fuck how you feel. 1. I have never done drugs a day in my life outside of alcohol. I drank when I wasn't 21. I drank after I was 21. I drank before I got in the Army. I drank a lot after I got out of the Army. I stopped drinking. Period. Good news is my money ran out. The great news is that I learned how to ask for help. I manned up and got all the help that I need for my mental issues. So I'm good. I'm good mentally. Could be a little better shape physically, but I'm okay. But this is important. And it specifically goes to friends and family who do fucking drugs. Yeah, weed is legal. Whoop-de motherfucking do. Good for you. I don't fuck with that shit. See, here's that thing to everybody now. To my 216, to the world. If you do recreational drugs, that's your thing. You do not have the right to impose your will or what makes you happy on me. If you do drugs, I can't stop you. And I don't give a fuck. It's your life, it's your body, and as long as you accept the consequences of the actions in which you do, that's on you. Don't get mad at me if you decide to get high and get into a fight and get fucked up. Who told you to get high? You chose to do that. You chose to get high, you chose to go somewhere that you had no business going, and then you got your ass beat. Rightfully so, because if you wouldn't have been there, shit wouldn't have happened. You chose to get drunk. You went somewhere, you drove home, and you killed somebody. That's on you. That's your fault. Because instead of drinking your ass at home, you chose to go somewhere. And you not only ruined your life, but you ruined somebody else's life. Forever. But that's on you. Because you chose to do something that fucking stupid. See, there's a time and a place for everything. If you're spending a weekend in a country lodge somewhere, and though it is dangerous, and you're getting drunk, but you're with friends and family, and y'all got like a cabin in the woods where everybody just goes to party, fine. Hopefully you'll have one member of the family that has enough coherency to keep all of you safe and put up the knives, forks, and spoons so that none of y'all unalive yourselves while you're fucking there drunk as a fucking skunk, high as a fucking kite, whatever the phrase goes. And again, that is on you because you chose to do that shit. And here's where I get 1,000% right, and you can hate me for it, and I don't give a flying fuck. I do not smoke weed. Do not blow that shit in my face. Do not offer that shit to me, or I will offer you a short little snub when I snatch a fracking hand clean off your body. Alright? Just because you smoke weed, don't mean I need to smoke weed. Just because the next 10 men next to you smoke weed, don't mean I need to smoke weed. And what happens when you smoke weed with somebody who can't stand you and they lace your shit, and then you start bleeding out your nose, out your eyes, out your ears, out your mouth, out your asshole? Now, I'm going to drop this down. Many times in my life, I've seen the dark side of drugs. I've never used drugs, but I've been around people who have. I've seen people go from big built like Batista to monsterly skinny, skinnier than me, like Pee Wee Herman skinny. I can only say this, these are consequences that come with your actions. I'm sorry for the background noise. If you are going to do drugs, you are going to accept the consequences of your actions. I've seen people who have done heroin I've had to walk 2 females who have done heroin. One of them almost died in the bathroom floor of my dad's house. We saved her. The one before that, I had to walk around the house 13 laps for about like an hour or two to work it through her system. And I still love both of those young ladies. But again, this is a choice that they made. It's a bad choice. I'm scared of needles. I'm scared of roaches. I'm scared of horses. I know what I'm afraid of. I used to be afraid to lose a parent until I lost my parent. And he's been dead going on 8 years or better now. His 8 year starts in March. Death is inevitable. You don't have to speed your way to it by doing what everybody else does. And if you choose to do drugs, you choose to get the consequences that come with it. And if you don't like that, that's not my problem. That's your problem. But understand, you made that choice. No one put a fucking gun to your head and said, hey, you're going to smoke weed. And I can almost guarantee you, if someone put a gun to my head and told me I was going to smoke weed, they'd go ahead and shoot. Because I'd rather die than put that shit in my body. I made it to 49 for a reason, y'all. I'm healthy because I don't put shit in my body that don't need to go there. But some of y'all just are slow learners and don't want to learn, or you just don't give a fucking enough about yourself to not do that. Once weed became legal, my nightmare came true. I knew that everybody that I know who was smoking in secret would be so proud to smoke that shit out loud. However, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But you don't blow that shit in my face. You do not offer that shit to me, or I will rearrange your goddamn dental work. And I'm sorry if this keeps me from getting any jobs at any place because I'm not down with the new thing that is drugs, and I'd rather never work a day in my life in the acting world or anything if I have to do drugs to do it. Now, I'm not without my sins, but I've never smoked weed. I drank. Vodka's my drink of choice. But I have control. I know that my buzz is a 3-drink minimum. I drink to get a buzz. I don't drink to get drunk. But I also haven't drunk in like 4 years. I've been focusing on school. I've been getting my shit done. 2023 is going to be the year for me. That's it. Echo Fangrave was about to launch off. And whatever platform launches me first, that's the one that's going to shoot me to where I need to be. But I'm not going to use drugs to get there. I'm not going to throw my life away. I'm not going to throw away my friends. If y'all choose to use drugs, I don't have a problem with that. But respect my boundaries. Respect the fact that I don't do that shit. Respect the fact that I seen an uncle go from being He-Man to Pee Wee Herman. I seen a neighbor get their weed spiked and they were bleeding out their ears, out their eyes, out their nose, out their mouth, and out their asshole, and they had to go to the hospital. And this is what y'all want? You can't smoke with everybody. You can't trust everybody. You can't drink with everybody. Because it doesn't take much for you to blink or somebody lace your shit. It's the same reason when I go to people's houses, if they offer me water and it's not in like the bottle where I can go literally get it and get it myself, then I'm not going to take that water. I'll wait till I get home. I can hold my thirst for a while. Now, food, on the other hand, I often don't take food from people just because I'm scared they're going to poison me. That's really the only fear I have left to conquer. But I've been food poisoned before, too. At my own accord and not being able to cook a pancake properly, I have food poisoned myself at least once. Maybe twice. And diarrhea sucks. But the point being made is that if you are going to do drugs, you need to be willing to deal with the consequences of your actions. If you are going to do drugs and try to force them amongst me, if you're going to blow weed in my face, you may never blow anything else out your mouth because you might not have a mouth when I'm done with you. If you are going to offer me weed, I may break your fucking hand right then and there. And I don't give a flying fuck. If you're over 18, you're old enough to know that now I can hit you. And if that has offended anybody here, then y'all don't know who I am. I don't believe in doing drugs. I have prescription pills from like my hip replacement. I don't know where they are, but when my dad died, I stopped using painkillers. I also know that painkillers are very addictive, so I refuse to use those motherfuckers. I have to be, like, if I have another hip replacement, that first week, probably the only week I'll use those motherfuckers. Unless they start giving me lucid dreams where I become Iron Man with my walker again and fly to Canada and start killing strippers. Because those dreams were crazy. So now you see why I don't do drugs. Especially when they're so fucking real. That you really have to like get on the internet and start looking for Canadian news. Because I had to do that. I was scared for like 3 or 4 days. But there were no murders in Canada. There was no skinny little black guy in an Iron Man suit flying around killing people in Canada who shake and bake and take their clothes off for a living. I was fucked up. But I will tell you now, if you need drugs to feel better, and they're a prescription and you are taking them the way the doctor told you to do them, I don't have a problem with that. But if you are abusing them, or if you're smoking weed, or if you're doing heroin, or crack, or any of that other shit, that's on you. And your actions have consequences. And if your actions come at me with that shit, I will be the personal one who deals out the consequences. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. Personally, I don't give a fuck if you smoke. I don't give a fuck if you drink. I don't give a fuck if you do drugs. I give a fuck when you start invading my space with your drugs. Blowing that shit in my face? Trying to offer it to me? Thinking that you are going to impose your will to make me smoke or drink or do stuff like that? You are going to get hurt. I send warnings, not invitations. This is your first, last, and only warning. Thank you for watching. I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. Drugs is bad. Stay the fuck away from them. Be seeing you.